Hello builders, and welcome to another building video. In this zoo build, we're doing the badgers. Badgers! The cutest little guys in their cute little habitat. Now, you might notice that the beginning of the video started off with a couple things already built. That's because I was a big old dum-dum when I was building this and I forgot to turn on my recording, but don't worry, you didn't miss much. Just a little bit of the walls and a copy paste of the viewing area, which I had previously built in the fox habitat and in the wolverine habitat. So if you want to see how I built that, you can check those videos out. I will leave a link in the description. But hey, without you having to see me build a little fence out there, we can come right into doing the rock work early in this video. And you know you're all here for the beautiful rock work. Look at that. Yes, the rocks. Yes, I'm a firm believer that rocks make exhibits look beautiful, make everything look more natural, and oh yes, so satisfying to put them down. And that is why I am covering up our little glass panels here with rocks, just to make everything look more natural. And I suppose we're also putting the glass there, you know, so guests can actually see the animals. Guest view is always important in your builds, I suppose. And speaking of guests, we should probably build this rock wall up to encourage guests not to climb into the exhibits. Badgers are cute and cuddly looking, but they are far from it. I wouldn't want to cuddle with a badger because I feel like it would tear my face off. And well, having a badger tear the face off of someone stupid enough to climb into their exhibit would probably be good for evolution in the long run, you know, survival of the fittest. It is not good for lawyer fees. Feeling this exhibit was a little too flat, we come in and remove a bunch of these rocks and expand it outwards to create a lovely little hill in the middle of the habitat. Plus it gives the badgers a little bit more privacy on the other side of their habitat. Plus they can hide from all these guests that want to cuddle with them. Next on the agenda is to add in a natural water source for the badgers to drink from. And of course we're going to come in with some waterfalls. I love the waterfalls. We're just going to take these pre-builds and we're going to sink them into the wall and cover them with rocks to make it look a little bit more natural. And now to fix up the fence, we're just going to adjust it with these little pillars. We're going to add some rocks and trees over the posts just to make it blend in with nature a little bit more, because again, that is the theme for this whole zoo. Now just finishing up the bit of rock work around the edges. Quick and easy, we're going to make a little bit of a wall, and we're just going to copy paste it over and then adjust it from there. In the past, when I've worked on smaller zoos, I usually just try to create my own exhibit walls with as many pieces as I want. But being that this zoo is already taxing my computer as much as it is, I've decided just to go with the default walls and then just add a little bit extra to them, such as rocks and such. But hey, that's the sacrifice you make when you try to get a zoo with every single species in it. We're already up to 100, so we're almost there. Just about like another 80 or so to go. But if you want to come cheer me on as I continue this big old project, as I try to get every single animal into the zoo, then come follow me over on Twitch, linked in the description down below. I would love to see you, and anyone who follows gets their name in the zoo as well. That's always important when you're adding in a waterfall or some flowing river into your habitat to make it look like the water is flowing out of somewhere. So I always try to create these tiny little caves at the end of a river system, just to make it look like the water is going somewhere. Otherwise, you don't want your habitats to flood now, do you? And you know I love putting rocks, so we're going to flood this river with rocks. How's that for a segue? But there is a method to my madness for the rocks. I always love putting plants around the river, such as reeds and all that. Having the rocks there gives me a good place to quite literally root the reeds and other plants into place. Now you might be thinking at this point, hey stone, there's too many stones in this habitat. Well, don't worry about it. It may look a little barren and bland right now, but the stones are quite literally the foundation that will hold up the whole exhibit, especially when we add in the plants and turn everything beautiful and green. You just gotta let Zoo Architect do his cooking. See, now isn't it looking better just with a touch of green paint to the ground? Or I mean grass? Ah, we all know what it is. It's basically just paint. And then we come in afterwards and we just do a little detailing with the dirt brush just to make it look like the grass has been worn down through overuse through the badgers and the keepers continuing to walk it. And while I was painting the whole thing, I came up with the idea to create a second little tunnel for the badgers to use. We just use some simple little mulch to make it look like a proper little dug tunnel. And then we put the little stone walls on the outside. Unfortunately, later when I add in the badgers, I had to take this all apart because it wasn't wide enough for them to use. Even though I feel like in real life they would, but the game mechanics wouldn't allow it. And now we come into the final stretches of building the habitat. We start to greenify it all with some vegetation. And the first on the docket is to do the moss work. Never underestimate the power of the moss. The moss is beautiful and I love adding it to my exhibits, especially having it coating all the rocks. I always wanted to have one big old tree right in the middle of the habitat. So we come in and we add in a lovely little oak tree growing right there to give the badgers some shade. And when it comes to decorating, it never hurts to add in just a couple little dead stumps throughout an exhibit, just to give in that little bit of wild touch to make it feel like a proper little forest. With the badgers added to the habitat, I come in and I double check to see if they can actually walk through this little tunnel we made. And it turns out they can't. So we gotta come in and need to do a little adjustment to the whole thing so the badgers can walk through it. If you ever find yourself in a situation like this, I recommend just deleting everything like this. And then having a badger selected, just do the undo key. And then slowly bring everything back in and then you can try and figure out what the problem was. In this case, I found out it was the width, not the height of this tunnel. So going in, I just move everything off the side and we make the tunnel a little bit wider, hoping that the badgers can go through it. With the tunnel problem all sorted out, it's time to put in the final touches to the habitat. Let's just cover it all with grasses and flowers and get that underbrush all nice and sorted. You should always try to do your little fine details like this at the very end of your habitat. You always want to start off with your big stuff like your rocks and your trees, and then you come in and you put all the little things afterwards. That way it makes it a little bit easier to figure out where you want to put all your little flowers. Well, builders, I hope you enjoyed the video to this point. Feel free to like and subscribe and leave a comment down below. Tell me what you liked, or if you didn't like something, let me know that too. I always like hearing feedback from everyone. And feel free to join me over on Twitch and follow me there. I will always welcome new people in the community, and anyone who follows gets their name up on a board in the zoo somewhere. Link to that and to my Discord also down below. With all that spiel over with, I will say goodbye, builders. Hope you're having a great day, and I'll leave you with one final flyby of this habitat. Happy building, everyone!